They can see you. All right, y'all. Hey, hey, hey. It is Charisma Cares Travels. I, I am live with you. It is 8:15 p.m. here in Rwanda and 2:15 p.m. Eastern over there in Atlanta. So I go off of Eastern, and this is the best I could do, y'all, because it is hard to arrange these times. So if you are on, let me know you're on. I'm gonna give people a few minutes to jump on, and in doing so, I figured we'd have a special guest. Today, we're gonna talk all about Rwanda, doing real estate here, networking here, and just living here and answering questions. Yeah, he's my cheerleading squad, y'all. They said, "Hey, Charisma and Cam." Hey. See, they all said hello. So we are gonna wait for some people to jump on. So I'm gonna tell y'all about our experience today while people are jumping on. So we were invited to church today. I'm here in Rwanda, and it was actually pretty cool. The thing
I
about
cried.
you did. You had a moment. So the thing about church everywhere, y'all, I don't care where you are, but when church music plays, it doesn't even matter if it's in a whole other language. It's like a whole vibe. How did you like the church music today?
It was codfish.
It was what?
It was codfish.
That's not a word. How did you like the church today?
It was good. Somebody was crying.
Somebody was crying. And did you dance at the church?
No, I just sit down.
You just sat down. And how do you like Rwanda?
It's pretty good.
What do you like here?
I like the food. I like the music.
Do you really like the food in Rwanda?
Yeah.
Y'all, the food in Rwanda is not great. That is one thing, but they do have other restaurants. What are you doing tomorrow?
Nothing.
He's going to school. He's starting a Montessori school tomorrow, so he will have to go to bed. But he wanted to tell everybody hello. Hello. Good? You good? Do you need to read the comments? So Toya said hi. Hold on, let's see. Lovely one said hello. Shauna said Cam's energy is a whole vibe. Monica said, "Hey Cam." Don't do that. Let's see. Toya said, "Hi Cam." And Shauna said, "I love that he's experiencing the world." All right, that's your cue. You done. Good night. Say good night. Good night. They can't hear you.
Good night.
All right. So, yes, that will be his first day for school. So we'll see how that goes. So, good night. I'll see you. Go ahead. Bye bye. See you later. Go ahead to bed. Good night. So, why is he still looking? Bye. See ya. Thank you. As Mr. Cameron exits. So, okay, today, y'all, I want to talk to you all about Rwanda and what's going on here, about business, networking, all of that. So, if you have any questions, make sure y'all throw them all in the chat. So, all right, they said good night, sleep well. Okay, it has been quite the month here in Rwanda. I checked in with you all a couple of weeks ago, and I told you it was rough. It was I'm going to start. Rwanda can be a rough start. It's not a whole lot of busy things to do here. You really have to make your own fun. And there's a few things here and there, but you really have to know. Like I went on TripAdvisor, y'all, and going to the church was one of the top three things to do. So it was really rough. But the great thing about Rwanda is Rwanda the Black Americans here really have a great connection, really bring you in if that's what you show that you want. They are there for you. They will answer any questions. They are your absolute cheerleaders. When I was like, this is the worst food I've ever eaten, they was like, girl, I got you. Let me send you this list of 15 restaurants to go to. When when I said, well, we don't have anything to do, girl, I got you. Let me send you all these places of things you could do. Oh, you got a kid? Let me send you all these places of things you could do with kids. So that is what, in my opinion, makes Rwanda special is the community. And for people that have lived abroad already, I know some people are planning to do so. But for those that have lived abroad already, one thing you will find is that community is very important. So if I was to stay in Rwanda, not that I am, if I was to stay in Rwanda, I do feel like I would be okay because of the community. And well, y'all, you already in Africa, so you can take flights to different places. So, what do we want to start talking with? Do we want to start talking about the land and the property? We want to talk about this visa. We want to talk about life here. What is it? Where do y'all want to start? And yes, Shauna, it is some of the worst food I've ever had. Unfortunately, seasonings are not highly used here. So for that reason, when they say pack that Lowry's, that lemon pepper, the Old Bay, really do so. Really. Like, and I packed mine because I'm used to it. But yeah, you really need those seasonings here. And while y'all are letting me know what it is that you really want to talk about first, I'm gonna do some little housekeeping. I am in Africa. Power does go out. So if I go away for a little bit, I will be back, even if I have to log in from another device. I just want to give y'all those 2 cents. So I'm going to start with the visa first because the visa I feel like is the easiest thing, the quickest and easiest thing to start with. And that's the thing that was like, wait, whoa. So the visa, they have a number of visas. I think there's like 13 different types of visas. The visa in Rwanda that most Black Americans will apply for is the visa that grants you up to 2 years temporary residency that is renewable every 2 years. With that particular visa, you do not have to leave the country. That visa is still around 150, 160, 150, $160. But you do not have to leave the country. You can stay there for 2 years straight. Now, you're not guaranteed 2 years. You will get up to 2 years. So that's the thing about that visa. But here, visas don't take a long time. Now, the other visa that a lot of expats will get is the 10-year visa. The 10-year visa allows you to stay, it gives you access for 10 years. You can stay a total of 6 months at a time. That means you can do a border run every 6 months, or you can go to South Africa, Mauritius, Kenya, Uganda, Ghana, Nigeria, y'all, it's like, ain't it 53 countries here? So you got 52 countries to explore just on this continent. So, or you could just do the border run. That again is the same price, $150 to $160 total. I went for the 10-year because I will be in and out of the country, and the same for my son because he'll be with me, even if he's not coming with me for the whole 10 years, he'll be with me some. And a 30-day here is $50, and a 90-day, I think, is $100. So it's like you might as well go ahead and get the 150-day while they are still giving, no, not 150-day, get the 10-year or the 2-year while they are still giving it. Just like every country where expats really start making a presence, after a time, they start to limit that. It's not as easy. I got mine in a week. It says you should get it in a week, but I have learned that in Africa, everything that's written isn't always the case. It could take longer. For me, I did go up there after a week because my current visa was expiring. So I just got really nervous. So they went ahead and I was able to get my visa that very next day. So that's the thing. This is not, and you don't have to start this before you get to Rwanda. You can, it will save you money because had I applied for this while I was still in the States, then I wouldn't have spent the $100 getting the 30-day visa for me and Cam initially. But at that time, I didn't know that I was going to want to do a 10-year. So, and I didn't even know about a 10-year. I didn't even know there was a 90-day because on their website, it actually only says that there's a 30-day. So a lot of people say you specifically have to ask for a 90-day. One of the good things about Rwanda is you can get a visa on arrival. Not all African countries are like that. You cannot get a visa on arrival for Kenya. You actually have to apply for your visa online for Kenya at least a few days before because they will deny you access. So they don't care how much you pay for that plane ticket. They'll be like, no, you ain't getting in here. So that's the thing about the visa. So I know everybody wanted to know about it. I know we've looked at the Mexican visa, Panamanian visa, so many visas out here, and they are pretty hard to get. And I think those rules just get more stringent year after year. So with that being said, I'm like, y'all, let me go ahead and in here and get this because who knows, next year the same visa may be $250. So, and then, that's why I said I'll go ahead and get it. Another thing is, let's see, I saw a question. This question, AKH. So, did I buy land or property? I actually purchased land prior to coming to Rwanda. And AKH, let me know, are you here in Rwanda? Where are you right now? I'm going to pull up a picture for y'all. So, if you have not caught the video, there was a video when I interviewed Miss Vermilla, and Vermilla had bought land in Rwanda, sight unseen. She had actually she had watched some YouTube videos. She had been following them for a few years. And eventually she decided I'm going to go ahead and buy some land. So I met Vermilla at the Exodus Summit, and that's when she informed me. I think we started talking, and she I was in real estate. I coach women in real estate, buying property, all these different things. And over time, that's when she informed me that she had bought some land. And she told me about it, and we talked about it via interview. And she thought that I was like everybody else. I wasn't actually going to act on it. She was just telling me, well, no, I got the landowner's number. I talked to him. She had bought some residential land. I actually bought commercial land. So make sure y'all catch that interview. I will link it in the description. So I didn't buy commercial. I bought multi-use lands used for residential and commercial. So while I have been here, let's see. I was able to finally see my land. So this is my land here. My land goes back fairly far. Let's Let's see if I can find a picture of it. So this is the area where the new airport is being built in Bugaseta. So this is where I bought some plots, and I'll be buying some additional plots. That was the chicken crossing the road as I was coming in. And so here, my land actually goes back here. It's a few 10,000 square feet. Trying to see if I can show you how far back it goes. Let's see. I think it's on this video. I'm gonna see if I okay. Let's see. That's not where it is. So trying to see if I can show you. That's not my plots. So where he is back there, all of that coming down to this corner and then back over to that other corner, all of that is actually my land. And this is this is all of my land going all the way back there. And the way that I kind of explain it to people is that you think about a house. A lot of us have a house. If we have a large house, our house may be 3,000 square feet. My land is about 3 of those houses. So it's pretty large. So I was able to walk it. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it all the way in the back there, but that's the size of my land. Those are actually 2 plots. This size of land you can't really buy as a plot anymore. They don't really sell it that large. This landowner may have 1 or 2 more that you can buy in this area that's mixed use. So if that's something that you may be interested in, let me know. But yes, that is my land that I have. I went and walked. I have 1 plot already in my name. The other one, I'm working on that. I'm not going to say everything is easy. It is a process, but is it worth it? Yeah, if you get land now, because this land out here is going up to the point where it is like, this land is going up in price to the point where the land is going up every 6 months. So land that you may see today for 10,000 in 6 months, maybe 15,000. It's going up very, very quickly at this point because we're starting to get closer. So you should be able to click on that link. That is the link to purchasing land in Rwanda, Africa with Vermilla. So purchasing land in Rwanda with Vermilla. So that is that interview. That's that interview here. So I'm going to tell you a little bit why I do invest in Rwanda, because there's land in a lot of places, right? There's a lot of countries you can go to. You can find land, you can find property that's cheaper in the US. That's a given. But for me, there's a reason I invested. When Vermella first told me about her buying land in Rwanda, as a investor, there's certain key points that I look at. And these are even things that I teach when I'm doing courses or one-on-ones. A lot of it is growth. These are basically the market. You want to look at the market and you want to evaluate that market. Now, evaluating a market in Africa is different than evaluating a market in the US. In the US, I can go online, I can pull comps, I can, and comps is basically where I can compare house prices. I can see how much they're selling for, how much people are buying them for, how long it's staying on the market. I can Google, see what businesses are coming up, Fortune 500 businesses, all of those things. If you've taken my course before, if you've taken real estate boot camp or done coaching with me, these things are going to sound quite similar because these are also things that I'm looking at even when I'm buying land in Rwanda. I'm looking at what is coming to the area. It wasn't just because it was Rwanda that I bought land. It was because they have this airport coming. It's a 1.6, 1.8 billion dollar airport that is also, I think it's 55, 60% backed by Qatar. Qatar Airlines is a major player. If you ever been to Doha or one of Qatar or on a Qatar airline, it is like Doha has a whole forest inside their airline inside their airport. That airport is humongous. It is a money making airport, and right now, to go to most places in Africa, if you fly Qatar airline, you're gonna do a layover in Doha. Well, geographically speaking, Doha is past Africa. It's not you literally go out of your way a few hours to get to places in Africa. So my flight went out the way like 5 hours to get to Doha and lay over to then get me on Kigali airline. Well, the thing about that is by putting an airline in Rwanda, Kigali is the metropolitan city in Rwanda. By putting an airline in Rwanda, Rwanda is like Central East. So what that does is now gives you a layover for the East and the South. For the very least. So instead of laying over in Doha, now you're going to lay over here in Rwanda because logistically speaking, they needed a place here to lay over. Africa has not been a big player in the past in any of these different things. This is major. I went to a conference they had called Afra Labs, and you can look that up as well. And they are really trying to start to connect the countries in Africa. Right now, they are not connected whatsoever. It is cheaper for me to get a flight to Turkey or to Dubai than it is for me to get a flight to Kenya, or it may be the same price, but Kenya is next door. Dubai is not next door. It's countries away. I'm pretty sure we even have to go over an ocean. So the thing is, when we're looking at this, it's not connected. It costs you a lot to travel the continent of Africa, which is probably one of the reasons why I'm not going to travel the entire continent of Africa. I'm going to jump and go into Europe or China or something like that because it's very expensive. Well, the thing is, this is going to be a major player, a major money maker here, because it's going to put a major airline, a major international airport, not just for passengers, but also for cargo. So this will be the new cargo, where cargo import export is shipped in and out for East Africa. So that you got double whammy here. This airport is being built in two phases. Phase number one is slated to come out in the next year or two. Phase number two comes out 8 to 10 years later. So you think buying land now, if you had this land And if you keep this land for 2 years, it's gonna make its money. It's already making its money, and the airport's not open. But you got to really think. There's not a lot of people that know about Rwanda. Like, how many of y'all knew about Rwanda before myself or Vamela told you about this stuff going on? And that's the thing. I started doing the research in Rwanda. And even Vermilla was like, well, hell, I ain't know all of that was going on. And this isn't just the airport, because the airport is one part of it. Like you said, if Qatar is making that type of investment, the return on investment is going to be major. So these plots that were going, like, and Vermilla will tell you, when she first started looking, those plots were $3,000. When she went back, they were $5,000. Those same plots are $7,000 to $10,000 now. And we just talked to Vermilla earlier this year. So they are going up in price. There are no more $3,000 plots. The cheapest I found are $5,000 plots. And then they go up from there. But your average plot is about $10,000 in this area. Now, Rwanda not only has this Bugesera airport, but there are other areas here that are booming. Like, there's an area where somebody bought land for $10,000 in January. That land is now selling for $20,000. There are areas where you can buy plots of land for $25,000. So you definitely have options here. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but I don't know that you can make a bad investment here in Rwanda. Because there's so many different places that you're able to invest in. And there are different margins. You can do the 5, the 10, the 15, the 20. Everything here is measured in square meters. So I've had the pleasure of knowing how to calculate square meters to square inches. So I'm looking at my next purchase being a larger purchase, a hectare of land, which is about 2.5 acres. So, there are some big things going on. People are, Black Americans are coming here and they're really doing some major things, but so is everybody else. The Chinese people are here, people from Europe are here. It's people that's coming in and they're dropping money because they see the writing on the wall. Fortunately for our people, we're normally the last to see the writing on the wall. At this point, I am I guess it'll be either Tuesday or Saturday. I will be taking potential investors out to look at different land. We'll be looking at land in Bugesera. We'll be looking at land in the city. We're going to be looking at apartments that are already ready to go. If somebody wants to make money right away, that they can rent out and do the same thing. There is a ton going on here. So I just kind of feel like this is going to be my bread and butter. I tell people all the time, the way that I look at this is when I was a little girl and they were building the Atlanta airport to what it is now. We lived right there next to the Atlanta airport. And if my mom knew what I know now, if she bought land there, they weren't educating us on these type of things. Hell, they're not educating us now. We're educating one another. So, somebody educated me and I'm educating other people. But if I knew what I know, if my mom knew what I know now, we would have been millionaires just by buying land. Even if you bought it and sold it, if you bought it and held it and rented it out. So I feel like these types of opportunities come once in a lifetime. This has come twice in a lifetime for me, but the first time it came, I was a little girl. So for me, this is a lifetime opportunity of investing, having something for my children to pass down, things that are making money without me doing a thing. That is what this looks like to me. This isn't one, this is one of those you got to have money to make money. So you need to have money put aside. And I'm the person that will tell you do not invest what's for your savings. Now, if you got that savings, that money's just sitting there and that money is there to invest in the future, that's the money you invest in. But if you like, oh, my light's gonna get cut off if I use this money, you don't want to invest that money. But if you're like, I've been thinking about investing, this may be something that you may be interested in doing. I do have it where you can book a call with me. If you want to talk more about it, I'm answering questions tonight. But if you want to talk one on one, we can. The call has a small fee, it's not my usual fee, but it's really just because, y'all, my time is so important, especially right now in Rwanda when I'm running back to business offices, making deals, networking, and doing so many things. I just need to know that once we book it, you will be on there. It's like 20 something dollars, not expensive at all. Really just to get that commitment. Because y'all know if we take a little bit of change out our purse, we gonna be there. Um, but so you can book that appointment. But I do want to know what questions you all have, because there may be things that I've gotten used to at this point that are still on your mind, like what's going on with this, that, or the other. I do have some videos where I show the land, but I'm moving around. Things are shaky. Uh, and y'all, I broke my selfie stick. So my tripod, a selfie stick. So I got to get another one. But I will put up some videos, some people that have bought land and, just different things that you look for with the land. Let's see. What else can I tell y'all about it? It's not the easiest process. It's not the quickest process. We would like to think that it is, but it's not, which is why I will be going back and forth to help investors do it correctly. So I can either sign for people that want to work with me, or you can come here. I even thought about maybe doing an annual trip for investors that may want to come and actually see the land. I'm one of those people, at some point, I need to lay eyes on it. Some people are like, I'm going to go ahead and put my money in and I'm good. If you're like, girl, Africa too far, I don't want to invest in it, that's fine. But I do urge you to look outside of the US. A lot of times we're just taught that the US is all there is to it. And I know I'm preaching to the crowd right now. But, there are other opportunities out there that we may just be overlooking. Here, I've just created the network and the people, and, you know, it's going very, very well. I just feel like, oh, I got over here and everything just changed. And I don't know, things have been going really well. Shauna, I will say this is a great idea because you can get 20, 30,000 and buy a hectare of land. And you can break that hectare of land down because that's 2.5 acres, right? So even if you had 6 women, right, and they all invested 5K, and you split that up into six, you each got half an acre. You could definitely build a lot on half an acre. You could split that out up and sell some and keep some. There is a lot that could still be done. And we would form a company, and let's say I invested with you all and form this company. I can just sign for it while I'm here. And then we just need to get all the documents and everything together for the legality of things. So that is definitely not a bad idea at all. because with 20, 30K, you get such a large amount of land. Because they normally break their land down to 300 square meters. So I'm gonna calculate that. So how many square meters is a hectare? 10,000. So a square meter is 10,000. A hectare is 10,000 square meters. If they sell it by 300 square meters, which I know some of this may be going over your head, but I gotta say it out loud to calculate it, right? And then I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Divided by 300 equals. So a hectare would produce 33 plots. So each plot is 300 square meters. A hectare would produce 33 plots, right? So let's say you paid 30,000 for it. You have 33 plots. You sell them all at 10K. Well, no, you need to sell them for more than that. If you do 30,000, let's say 15K at that point, because they'll be up by the end of the year anyway. So that is 33 plots by $15,000. So you make 49.5. So basically, off of $30,000, you all made $20,000 profit by the time you sold. So if it's five of you all, you just doubled your money just about. If you got your land for 20K, that would be even better. But you'd have to get that land now. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know that in a little while it's gonna be still 20K. It's probably gonna go up because there's something called the master plan, and that's a whole new big thing going on. That's gonna tell us what certain lands are. Are they agriculture? Are they industrial? Are they commercial? Are they multi-use? Are they residential? So it's a lot that goes into it. When I bought my land initially, I did not realize there was so much going on, but those changes were just taking place as I bought my land. So nobody knew about those things. So that is definitely a possibility. And that's the calculation if you held it. Let's say you held it for 6 months to a year. You put in five, you make five. So you basically doubled your money, right? But let's say you held it for 3 or 4 years. Imagine what those plots are going to be sold for after the airport opens. So after the airport opens, of course, those plots are going to go for hella money. They may go for 20,000, 30, 40, 50,000. I was talking to someone today. I did the breast cancer walk here, and she said some of these plots out here in Bugusera were $1,000. $1,000. What would have happened had you bought that plot for $1,000 that's now being sold for $10,000? If you bought five of them, you just made $45,000 off of $5,000. So that's the thing, you want to make sure you're educated, but you want to make sure you're moving. So if anyone wants to start looking at things, you can look at this website, look up the RDB. That's the governing board of Rwanda here. So that's where everything is listed. So you can look there, kind of see how their applications and all of that kind of stuff is done. But what else? You don't have to be a resident to buy land here. You can buy one plot without a business. After one plot, you have to have a business. So the business and the paperwork for the business is a lot. So if any of y'all write business plans and investment summaries, oh, that would be a great job for you. when we talk about people that are investing in Rwanda, because y'all, this business plan is a beast. So that's the one of the bigger hurdles. You can get a business license, but to do business and invest, you do need to do that. But again, like Shauna said, if we all pool money and we actually did one business, that means we only need one business plan. So that would be quite amazing. So that is actually a great idea. Let's see. So I know I've been rambling. Let me ask y'all, do y'all have questions? What do you think? What do you want to know? So while y'all are asking that, let me see. What else can I tell you about Rwanda? So Rwanda, to stay here, if you do it on Airbnb, it's kind of pricey. It's around a two bedrooms around 1,500. If you wait till you get here, you can get a two bedroom around a thousand. But it's a very rocky place. The roads aren't all paved in the city they are, but once you even in the city, once you start going out to where you live, they're not always paved well. So that's something you got to think about. They're still developing the infrastructure. I feel like over the years that will be developed, but right now it's still in development phases, because Rwanda is a fairly new place, in the last 30 years. And, they're coming back from their genocide and they're doing it with a huge bang in Africa. Like they are number one for a number of things, like the fact that they have really, really good internet. Yeah, I went to Mexico, I went to Colombia, I went to Dominican Republic, all right there, not far from the US, and has some of the worst internet ever. Here, I have no internet issues unless my power goes out. So, and it's not like in South Africa where they have like the rolling power outages. It's just occasional where it just goes out and it'll be out for a little bit and then they'll come back. So that's the thing. Those are the things that I think about when I'm looking at investing, when I'm looking at investing somewhere, because people don't really want to go somewhere where they can't have internet. A lot of you all know, as digital nomads, we need our internet. So that's something that's pretty big. Being able to get around the city, they do motorcycles. They have something that's kind of like Uber. It's not the best yet, but hopefully they'll improve that over time. They have taxis. I have a driver. If you all saw our zip line and video, you saw my driver. That is Kim's absolute favorite driver. So there are things out there. So they are definitely coming along, which is why. One thing I did want to tell you. The reason why I chose to invest in Rwanda versus any other country like Ghana, where it was like, everybody come home to Ghana and invest your money. And now Ghana is broke. All the money's gone. They didn't put the money into the city and the infrastructure and things like that. In Rwanda, it is extremely frowned upon to rip off a foreigner, by the government, because they want us to come and invest. So your investment is much more protected here, in my opinion. And remember, these are all my opinions, y'all. Y'all can't come back and sue me. I got a whole disclaimer down there for you. Uh, but this is somewhere where if something was to happen, you can come back to the government here and say, I invested my money with this person. This is my receipt. They did not produce my land. I have heard horror stories in other countries where they bought land and that land was sold to three other people and the chief was over stuff, and the chief would had his hand in the pockets of the big government officials. So in the end, you don't even get your money back. You don't get any land, you don't get any money, and you're lucky if you don't get killed. That is not the type of environment I want to invest in. So knowing that here, even though things move slower than I'm used to in the US, knowing that here in Rwanda that I can invest my money and I can feel a little more comfortable about investing my money. Now, every investment comes with some risk. Do I think that the risk with land is high? Not in my opinion. I don't know anybody that's ever bought land really anywhere and be like, man, I wish I hadn't bought that land. I lost so much money. I mean, unless your land is on top of a swamp, I don't see why you would have land that wouldn't appreciate. But knowing that there are checks and balances here make me as an investor and as a foreigner more comfortable with investing here because they do have those checks and balances. Your land is registered with the city. Your land is registered here. If they put that number of that land plot and if they put that number of that land plot in their system, they will see who owns that land plot. It's even things where somebody owns it and they still married to somebody else, and that person got to come sign for it too. And you thought only one person owned it. Like they do all of that research with that land plot. So that is what I will tell you. It is a more safe, it is a safer place to invest in than some other places. Does that mean you can't invest in other places? No, absolutely not. I'm sure there's some other places that are safe to invest in. This is just where I'm investing. And this is where I'm comfortable with investing. It is a lot of work to find out all of this information. So I'm not doing this again in another country in 2 months. So maybe in a year, but right now I'm going to focus on one country, know everything I can about that country, and know the people that I need to contact in case, because I can't know everything, right? So have those people that I can reach out to as laws are changing, things are changing, investments, this, that, and the other. Let's see. What questions do y'all have for me? I feel like I just been talking away. So I posted that interview. Oh, yes. Teaching. Yep. About the plots of land. Yes. I have two of them. I actually bought them a while back, but I don't always put everything out there right away. Let me see. I'm gonna go through the comments while y'all post your questions. She said she gonna pack her seasonings. Yeah, I always pack my seasonings when I go overseas. Because a lot of times they don't eat the same seasonings we eat. You're always gonna have your garlic and your pepper and stuff like that, but those mixtures, no, you're not getting those. Let me see. Did I give y'all too much information? Like, is your head spinning? Are you like, I'm gonna have to go back and watch this? While you're here, can you give me a like? I always forget to ask for a like. Please like this video. So I hope your heads are not spinning, but I hope I gave you just enough information. The networking here is really good. The people are good. And it's something about going to an event and looking around and seeing all Black people. And if there is a white person, they are the dot in the crowd. So many times in the States, I go to a networking event or a conference and everyone is white. And I mean, not to say that that's bad, but everybody doesn't look like me. So it may be me and somebody on the other side and somebody else, and you kind of make eye contact, but you're the only ones, right? So to do business here is to not be the only one anymore. It's to be in a sea of people that look like you. Not to necessarily say they're all Americans, they're Rwandans, they're from London, they're from the UAE, they're from the Caribbean, they're from the States. They're from all over the world, all shades, and they all look similar to you. That is something that is pretty amazing. And, people in Africa take that kind of for granted because someone said to me, well, you're in Africa. Of course, everyone is Black. Someone that's a local. And I said, yeah, but it didn't really dawn on me that I would come somewhere and I will look around and all of the money people, all of the people doing business, all of the investors would look like me. That is absolutely amazing. That is one of the greatest feelings that you can have, to know that you are truly in a room surrounded by your peers of like minded individuals doing similar things that you're doing. After that networking, I had a week full of meetings. Meeting up with different people, and I just learned so much. And and you really just end up looking out for one another. I had someone come to me with an investment, and although it wasn't something I wanted to invest in, when I saw something else that could take their business to the next level, I sent them that information. When they see something else that can help me, they send me that information. So it's just pretty amazing. You said, I don't think there will be any available and or affordable land surrounding the international airport once it opens. I don't think so either. Honestly, I don't know what will be here next year. Um, I know what's here today, but when I bought my plots in April, I bought I bought two plots, and there were only two plots sold in that area. When I looked at the plan right now, there are only, I think, one or two plots left in that area. So, yeah, but it's got to make sense to you. So I would say, if you're interested, look up the airport. It's the Kigali Bugusera airport. They have articles on it, they have videos on it. If you want to chat, we can chat about it. um, I'm not going to say this is, people never get ripped off here. So you want to be educated about everything that you do. But there is recourse here, which is very good, and different than a lot of other countries. So, oh, yeah. So, y'all know I'm on a different time zone. It is only 9 o'clock, but I was up today. I had to be up at 6:45 at the place to do the breast cancer walk. So that is why I'm tired. Are there any multi-use plots near your land that is in use or has a commercial presence yet? No, nobody can break ground just yet. So there's something called a master plan. Um, and you need to wait till that master plan comes out. And the other thing is, the jury is out on this. Some people say 2 years, some people say 5 years to build on your land. So you can literally hold your land um, and just flip it if you were so inclined. You could. If you didn't want to build on it. And then don't forget, building requires plans and architects and submitting them. You got to have those people to do that. So right now, people are buying, 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 buying. People are not building. You have 2 years. Plus, you don't want to build something before the airport gets there. Like, you don't want to build it too early, because there's nobody there to utilize what you've built. So, like, for my plans are in tune with the airport being built. So the way that my 5 year plan goes, it is based off of the airport. So I wouldn't build now for that reason. And what some people do, I get sleepy, y'all. I'm sorry. What some people will do is they'll buy extra plots that they know they're going to sell the extra plots, and they'll sell those extra plots to fund their business. No, mm-mm. This is not. This is not the states. I told you it's different out here. I can't say that that won't come. That is not there because a business plan is a plan. It's not a business. So until you actually put the building there, you could say whatever you want. You could say, I'm gonna put a Chuck E. Cheese right here. And in a year, you could say, I'm not gonna put a Chuck E. Cheese right here anymore. I'm gonna put something else here. So a business plan is a working document. So I'm sure once those businesses are there, they'll be, you can look them up. Hell, you can look them up on Google. But while they're being built, no, not until they put a sign out there that says what they're building. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there a registry in the states that tell you what's coming to a certain area? No, you typically have to unless they announce it like a Target or a Walmart, you just ride by there and be like, hey, I wonder what's coming here. Or if you go to a meeting, a zoning meeting, and they say, hey, this is what's coming here. But a lot of times, the small businesses, you don't know that that business is coming unless they want you to know that business is coming. Otherwise, you just ride past it guessing what it is. How close is my land to the airport? I don't know the exact distance. That's probably bad, but this is an international airport with a lot of ins and outs. I do have a road from the airport that goes directly to my land. Um, and I don't know in terms that you would know. I know in terms like when I drove to it, I think it was like 15 minutes. Um, so it's in a certain area, but if I told you, you wouldn't know. But it is near the air. It's close enough to the airport that I want to be. I lived by an airport growing up in Atlanta, and you kind of don't want to be but so close to the airport because it's loud. Planes taking off and landing are extremely loud. So, for that reason, you don't want to be extremely close to the airport. So, that's something to consider. So, I don't, so this is what I'm wondering, Shauna. Is there really anything that we access in the States to know that a business is coming outside of the business letting us know they're coming? Or if they're allowed to tell us in the zoning meeting. And even for that, you go in person to the zoning meetings unless you have a zoning meeting that's on YouTube. But, yeah, if a big thing is coming, but do you really know when a coffee shop is coming or internet cafe? Um, you do you know that a new subdivision is coming before the subdivision puts a sign outside that says Glen Hill subdivision coming in 2030, starting at 500,000. Like I guess that's what I was really thinking. Like, do you know? You said an ebook for investing in Rwanda. I realize things change rapidly, so this will be ongoing work for you. Ooh, child. Things have changed since I've been here. I don't know that I could do that. I don't know. That would have to be something for down the line because right now my head is full. My head is full. So I'd have to put it all on paper. And right now my head is full, very full. I have meetings this week. So Monday. What y'all see? Let's see. A lot of what we do here, a lot of things are word of mouth. You got to know the right people and you got to talk to the community. So the research here is different. So eminent domain could come with the master plan that I discussed that comes out this year. So nobody is finalizing. You can get up to a certain point with your property before it can be finalized this year. If the government, while they're putting in the airport, which they'll know this by the end of this year, if you bought land before this new plan, they can put in eminent domain if it's in the way of the airport or the road, but they will pay you for it and they will pay you fair market value. As foreigners, we pay to renew our land. I believe it's every 40 years. Don't quote me because I've been told two different numbers. But we pay to renew our land, and that payment is like less than $1,000. So if your kids don't renew your land after you are gone, they did not renew your land for pennies on the dollar. Yes. So that's the thing. Yeah. If you purchase land now, what a lot of people are doing is not paying the full amount. They're paying a percentage and they're doing a letter, like a receipt or a letter of agreement between the seller and the buyer. And then they're doing all of the paperwork. And then once that plan drops from the powers that be, you are already in line for it to be granted to do official transfer. And at that point, you will pay the remainder of your money. But that's something you have to work out with the landowner. They're going to always say, hey, give me all $2,000. So that's just like, when I bought my land, this was not in place. So I paid the whole amount for my land. But I also knew somebody that already bought land from that person. So I knew that person was trustworthy. I can't say that about other people. I can only say that through the connections that I have and the people that I know. You are welcome. Whew. Okay. What other questions y'all got for me? I think this is the longest live I've done in a while. I just had to figure out a time. I think Sundays will be my live because by the time y'all get off of work, I'm in bed because I'm 6 hours ahead of Eastern time, which makes me like 10 hours ahead of Pacific, I think. Additional fees with purchasing land. Well, you have the stuff that goes to the government. So you have your business is free. You got to do your business license, which is 500. And this is just today. I don't know what it's going to be in a month or 6 months. Let's see. Your paperwork, things like that. I think your biggest fee is going to be the finder's fee for whoever is helping you. Some people charge a percentage, some people charge a flat fee. So that's going to be your finder's fee. And there are transfer fees, which are under $100 to transfer the land titles. And then, processing fees for people to prepare documents. If you don't want to write your own business plan, you could pay somebody. They charge $1,000 as of today, but used to be 500, but it's no longer 500. So you can pay somebody for that. It just depends on how you want to do things. But look at it like when you buy a house in the States, you pay a realtor fee, you pay some processing fees, you pay a closing fee. Those are pretty much the kind of fees that you're paying here. You're paying for someone to help you take you through the process. They speak Kinyarwanda here, so things are in English, but the people still speak Kinyarwanda, which is their local language. So, you need that person to help you to interpret because you don't have a clue. This language does not sound like, how Spanish and French, some of those words you can make out. You ain't making out nothing here. Not a word. Nada. So, though it's those type of fees, um, I don't feel like the fees are anywhere close to what we pay in the States. We pay a buyer's fee and a seller's fee of 7%. I mean, even if somebody charged you 5% here, it's not like you're buying a $200,000 house, right? Like, so you're paying $10,000, $20,000 for land. So even if they charge you 5%, it's not a lot. It's the other things that kind of add up. Like if you don't want to write your own business plan and you want somebody to write that for you. It's different things like that. I know, like for anyone that I help, I would allow some people to see a copy of my business plan, maybe like a sample of a business plan, so they have an idea of how to do it, if they actually want to do it, or if they just rather pay somebody to do it. It's hard, so I ain't even gonna lie. I've never written a business plan. The numbers get a little tricky, the verbiage, but it is quite possible. It is definitely possible. You just got to have time, but it's not something you all couldn't do. If you're just joining me, be sure to like this video, please, and subscribe and ring the bell for notifications when I go live. I'll probably go live again in like 2 weeks. If I'm still here. If not, I'll go live when I'm in Kenya. It just depends. The way my life works, I just like move like a butterfly. Uh, what other questions did y'all have for me? Any other questions? Do, 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 do. Um, but yeah, and here in Rwanda, they really want us to come and invest. There are some hoops, but it's to make sure that everything is on the up and up. So, you do have to appreciate it. But yeah, they want to make sure everything is being done correctly, which is why they do have you register it and do these extra things. And I think as they continue to do it, things will get easier. But these aren't really things that you'll deal with as much as the person that you're working with. Like if you're working with me and I team with local realtors here, or if you're working with someone else, those are things that other people will deal with for you, which is why you pay the fee. So your biggest thing is going to be signing your paperwork. Yeah. So, and send in your money. That's really it. Let's see. What else can I tell you? I don't know. I think that's all I got for now. So, all right. So, questions. What do y'all want me to talk about next time? Tell me. What else do y'all want to know about here in Rwanda before I leave? Because I'll probably leave in about 2 weeks to a month to my next destination. So let me know. I know y'all normally want to know about dating. Uh, I learned something new about Kenya, Rwandan people, and the way they stay married for so very long. Um, yeah, let me know. Comment, let me know if there's something else that you would like to discuss about Rhonda or even about my experience just traveling abroad or doing whatever it is that I'm doing. So definitely post that. I forgot this was down there. Post that. Let me know what your thoughts are. You have the link if you want to book an appointment. And then I also do coaching for traveling abroad um, for women, parents, disabilities. So that's there as well, and real estate coaching. So all of that is there. Let's see, hold on, I have another comment. Okay. Okay, businesses like gas stations, grocery stores have to apply for the counter assessor's office for zoning in the states. This is something realtors use to determine how homes will appreciate. Hmm, that's interesting. I use comps. A lot of us use not investors. We use comps. We also look at things that's coming to the area. But those are territories that's already somewhat developed. You have to remember, Bugaseta is a large area of basically agricultural land that was just sitting there, that they have decided to put a major international airport there. So some of these areas aren't even set up for water and electric and internet yet. Those things will come as well. So your countdown to when you build on your land is also dependent on that, because your countdown doesn't start until those things are put in place. They still are doing putting down streets, putting down the tarmac for the streets and all of those different things. So this is on a different level than looking at the business like the gas stations, grocery stores, those type of things, because they're still building the infrastructure there. By the time we're at the point where we're looking at the gas station stores, malls, hotels, by the time we're at that point, you miss the bus. This is one of those things where if you really want to invest and want to make the most money, you're going to have to take a gamble. Because once those things are there, those prices have skyrocketed. By the time a hotel has said it's coming, that land is now worth $100,000. And so that's that's the thing. You're going to have to take that gamble. So you have to do all your research otherwise, and base it off of the airport and where the airport is located. Now, there are factories that have already gone up in the area, and that we do have an idea of where things will go up initially versus later on. Um, are those things I'm really able to tell you? No, I can show you. Like, if we drove down to Bugaseta, I could show you where those things are, but it's not necessarily something that I can tell you where you would know what I'm talking about. So you really do have to have a trusted person and be able to ask them the questions that you want to know. Now, I do know where some gas stations are being built because they've already started laying things. I know where some factories are, so I know some different things in the area, but I don't know that there is a place that you can go online to look that up. But I'll be down there this week, so I can ask them, is there a place you can look that information up, to know for sure? But based off of what I know so far, I doubt it. But that would be great. That'd be a great suggestion to share, because it is hard to know. it's hard to know who's truly a realtor here. Something as simple as that, because a lot of people, they just know about the area and they're selling the land. They speak English, they can communicate with people, and they're the ones that's the middle person selling the land, and that's how they make money. So yes, things are done totally differently here than in the States, but it depends. Is it worth the gamble for your $5,000 or $10,000? Um, because the thing is, if all else fails, the land's not going to depreciate. So even if you sold it back for what you bought it for, which you probably be losing money if you sold it back for what you bought it for, because they're probably going to take it and sell it for higher. But it's one of those things where there's definitely information online, but those specifics are not going to be online. Those are things that people know. People know where the roads are coming in at. I can show you a picture of the master plan, and right now, and it's not going to mean much of anything to you. You need somebody that understands what those things mean. I have like people that I sit down with and I talk to about these things because they're important. Um, so that's one reason why I'm doing the real estate tour, because I want to see other areas to invest in. And then I have other people that want to see areas as well. The easiest way, I don't want to say the easiest way, but the best way to see it is to see it in person. Otherwise, it's what can be shown on the map, but it doesn't mean a whole lot to you without really seeing it. However, as I learn more information, I'll share more information. So that is the goal for anyone that wants to move forward and do anything in investing, that's there. Now, on the other end, like I said, there are apartments that are already up in a very, very, very good area of town that you can get. I think they started like 75. No, 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 no. They started like 150K, 150. Yeah, 150,000. They can make you 2,000 plus a month. You can get a loan, short-term loan from the states, and put down a down payment and do something like that. Now that you would already know, you know exactly what's there because those areas are already built up. So I think that you would definitely know for that. But somewhere like Bugaceta, that's still agricultural land, no, you're not gonna necessarily know everything that's coming up there. Um, hey, you are so welcome. Um, be sure to like. Let me know if y'all have any other questions. Make sure you watch that video where I interviewed Vermilla about her buying her land in Africa. There's a lot more information there as well. Um, and if you want to book an appointment, go ahead and do so. No matter what, whether it's in the real estate or the travel. And I think I'm going to sign out because I'm tired. It's 9:30. That makes me sound old. But I didn't sleep well last night. So I am going to sign out. And you can still post any questions. Y'all know I will come back and still answer your questions on there. So be sure to post any questions. And ciao. Y'all have a good rest of I guess for y'all is y'all day. I'll have a good night. Y'all have a good day. Ciao. Oh, y'all like my hair? $25 for the hair and to braid it, to wash my hair. Oh, and I got a massage. What did I get? A massage, my eyebrows done, a scrub, and a facial. I spent like $75. It was 3 hours. Amazing. Those things are amazing. All right, y'all. Talk to y'all later.